Hello? Hello? Alright. My bot! Surely they work now. Okay. Let's move to chatting real quick. Hello? Is the chat working? No, it doesn't. Oh, there. Alright. Hello, everyone. Hi. Ow. Cookie. It's me, totally not Sora Cookie. Hi, Sora. Hello, Celeste. Hi, Himari. Hi, Neil. Hi, Bon. Wow! Bon is in chat today. Wow! Yippee! Bonsai's here. Wow! Hi, it is once again back. I am back with a weekly stream. I haven't been able to stream that much because I've been catching up on commissions. I've been working on commissions. And also, I had to go to the doctor the other day. The art getting to you. Nah! I also need to like tone down on streams this month because I do need to start working on the webcomic since it'll be returning March 15th. if you guys have seen the new update on Clover Cafe, I have announced that it will be returning on March 15th. I'm gonna play a tourney. Good luck with stream. Oh, good luck with the tourney, Nil. Don't overwork yourself. I won't. I'll make sure to rest. Other times you'll need to rest. Yes. So right now the entire month is a comic production schedule. I even announced I'd be closing up my commissions for a bit while I work on that. Give us Cloud Mint. Eventually. Eventually. Just be patient. Oh yeah, remind me in an hour I need to take my meds. I had to go to the doctor earlier this week. There was I had an infection in my ear. I have to go, it's 12. Alright, Sora! You're just chatting a little bit before we head into the game. Yeah. I'm blue. Hello, Ahmed! Yes, Ahmed is also blue now. Because, he volunteered to be chat mod for YouTube. It's not too bad, right? Yeah, not too bad. I just need to... Apparently, it's because my allergies have been really bad lately. And it got to a point where it developed an infection in my ear. So, I had to get some treatment for that. Ear infections are a pain, yeah. And I volunteer to be mod. I only choose trusted how many cookies holders to be mods. Also experience. Okay. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah. I have to take about a week's worth of medication to deal with the infection. Ears are a bit cropped. Oh no! Hold on, let me go down. There we go. Ear infection so bad it got the VTuber now. What? Oh no! The ear infection, it got me. It got me bad, guys. Actually, bye. Alright. Sora, rest well. Thank you for dropping by. Looks at my 22 cookies. I still got time before it starts. It will soon, Mori. Thank you. Crazy statement. Regarding that ear thing, the doctor told me not to sneeze so loudly. It's because I sneeze so loudly that it might have caused the issue with my ear. I'm surprised I woke up 8:58 a.m. today. Ayo! Good job! Yeah, I sneezed too loudly, apparently. Since when was Ahmed a mod? Since yesterday, I think. How do you control sneeze volume? I don't know, man! If the doctor said I need to control sneeze volume, I need to do it. Sneezing loudly causing infection. Since I fell off my mod work. Yeah, Vaughn. Yeah, Bonsai. Come on, man. Do better, man. Slacker. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah. Besides the sneezing part, I need to avoid dust, which is impossible because I live in a very dusty area. So I need to figure out how I can avoid dust when I live in basically dust utopia. Whenever the wind picks up in my area, it just blows dust into the house from the window. Like, how do I deal with that? Clean like a neat freak. Every time I wipe down a surface, and then like an hour later, there's already dust particles, new dust particles on the surface. This is coming back soon, right? Yes! March 15. And then it'll resume into its regular updating schedule of every 2 weeks. So the next episode, look forward to it on March 15. An hour, yeah, we leave our windows open so the air can like vent in. Like there's some ventilation in the room, and unfortunately, the caveat of having open windows is that the dust also gets in. You gotta have those dust waters, like the dusting thing. No, that just makes the dust go everywhere. Just live in one of those plastic bubbles. Oh, you want me to be a bubble boy? I can't believe I need to be a bubble boy. You use wet wipes, then use a dry cloth to remove dust, then vacuum. Yeah, I wipe down my surfaces, properly clean them, and then all my work is undone because the wind blew into my window and brought new dust into the room. Mori on the Bubble Boy arc. No! You don't wipe it hard enough, I guess. It's not about the wiping. It's not about the wiping. Some dust is from dead skin, so that means you have a lot of dead skin in your house. One windower person here. I have one open window as well. You don't have to wipe any dust if you're in a bubble. True. Man, I need to figure out how to turn my room into a bubble. And now my headset is telling me it's low battery. Hold on, I need to plug it in. Why is it low battery? I haven't charged it in a while, man. Why is Mori such a bump? Turny nerves kicking in. Break a leg, nil. Cloud Mint is cheering for you. Ivan and Till from Alien Stage is cheering for you. Okay, alright. I have my headset plugged in now. It is no longer saying low battery. I heard Cloud Mint Ivan Till. But where's my goat Tsukasa? He's on your shoulder. He's screaming. He's yelling into your ear. You've got this. Okay. I think I've yapped enough. We'll see if my nose starts itching once I start reading through the visual novel again. Typically when I when I play this visual novel, my nose starts itching. I don't know why. I bought Frag last tourney and tried calming down by reading it. Are you sure you want to say that stuff out loud? Are you sure you want to say that stuff out loud, Neil? Oh my god. He's becoming less and less of a closet Fujo. Make sure to hydrate. Okay, I have my water here. And I have to share it to the class. Neil getting exposed. Neil is exposing himself. Neil is exposing himself, okay? No one's outing him for anything, but like he's sharing it of his own volition. My team's in call, gotta go chat. Alright, good luck, Neil! Good luck with the tourney! I have no more... Alright. Okay. Time for me. How many minutes has the... That's 20 minutes. Alright, that's enough yapping. Let's head over here. Where's chat? Okay. Can you guys hear the game audio? Why was Mori doing the speed face? I was looking at my monitor. My monitor is below my other monitor, okay? Alright. We can hear the game. Alright. Okay. So... last we left off, we were being ignored by Baxter Ward. Mori got the resting speed face. I know you're trying not to laugh. That's disrespectful as shit. But yes, we were to recap. The wedding has completed. It has gone off without a hitch. And now we are cleaning up after the party. And we were thinking of inviting Baxter to a little dance. However, Baxter is avoiding us. So that's where we left off right now. You wouldn't ignore Baxter, but the same clearly wasn't true for him. He hadn't spoken to you since that one time during the reception. It couldn't be a coincidence. For some reason or another, he'd been avoiding all of you, or maybe you specifically. Why? Oh, I know. He likes to ghost people. It was getting kind of ridiculous. There was almost nobody left in the room. By now it was you, Cove, Miranda, and Terry. Some employees from the building itself, and Baxter. Everyone else had gone. Time was running out, but he left before you had a chance to speak. If he left before you had a chance to speak, there was no knowing whether you'd get another. You might never see him again. You looked down at the cake that you made, the last evidence of your collaboration. Maybe even your friendship, and you were cutting it to pieces and putting it away in a box. How symbolic. Oh. Is he going to be another memory? Is he going to be another memory again? You carried on slicing, ruminating on this thought in silence. It was hard to say how you felt about it, sure. Sure, you'd accepted this sort of behavior in the past, but now? Take a break? The sound of Miranda's voice pulled you out of your mental quagmire. You'd been so focused on Baxter's usual strangeness that you hadn't registered her talking. One look at the surprise on your face was enough for Randy to know you'd been a million miles away. She tapped the table in front of you. I can finish up here, Mori. You've been going for ages. And you were up all night, too. Her wide eyes were worried when you looked up into them, and there was a slight pinch in her forehead. Yeah, you should take it easy. Terry's head popped into view from behind Miranda, his expression of concern an exact replica of hers. It was so cute, the way they had gradually taken on each other's mannerisms over the years. Leave something for Cove to do for once. He's gotta earn that 5th slice of cake. There was a yelp of indignation as, last but not least, Cove made his appearance over Terry's shoulder. The sight of the three of them lined up in height order like that was comical. Oh my god. It's like steps. Cove's face was a little pouty, his tone defensive. It wasn't like I didn't want to help out, Terry. Besides, it wouldn't be my 5th, it would be... Let's see... He trailed off, his gaze drifting up and to one side as he silently counted on his fingers. How many slices of cake did you have? As a unit, Terry and Miranda rolled their eyes, seeming to realize his mistake. Cove dropped his hands. Anyway, they're right about the break, Mori. You can leave the rest to me, okay? Oh? At this, Miranda pulled up a chair next to yours and sat down.
Wow.
Leave it all to you, Cove? That's so nice. Huh? Wow, thanks for offering, buddy. It's been such a long day after all. He ate 5 cakes, not 5 slices, no. Wait, but there was only 2 cakes in the wedding. How's that possible? Harry stretched wide and made a ridiculously exaggerated yawning sound before plopping down onto Miranda's lap and putting an arm around her shoulder. They both grinned at Cove with all their teeth.
Hey!
I didn't mean that! Stifling a laugh, you got up to leave. Your friends were probably right. You needed to give the wedding work a rest. You had other things on your mind anyway. You patted Cove sympathetically on the shoulder as you headed for the far end of the wedding hall, in the direction of a certain someone. Oh, here he is. For the past half hour or so, Baxter had visibly struggled to stay preoccupied. Oh, he's looking for things to, keep himself busy. Actively avoiding. He brought his own from home? He brought cake from home? Goddamn. Cove. Pasalo Kiefer. Look him in. Almost nobody remained for him to give instructions to. There were no more chairs to stack or tables to clear. By now, he'd resorted to standing with his back turned and his arms folded, gazing out over the city through the enormous windows and trying his best to look deep in thought. You weren't fooled, though. It was about time you put him out of his misery. You approached from behind and softly called his name. Baxter? He stiffened at the sound, shoulders tensing. For a few seconds, he was frozen. Then all at once, Baxter spun around to face you. That perennial smile fixed firmly in place. Oh, that's the mask. Oh, good evening again, Mori. Is everything alright with the cleanup? Yep, not my problem anymore. Cove took it on. You cleared your throat, shuffling a little on your feet. You'd been mulling over a plan of attack, so to speak. But now that it came down to it, you weren't convinced that it was going to work. I don't know if you remember, but I promised to... but I promised once that I'd give you a call the next time there was a wedding going on. And, well, here we are. Baxter's eyes widened a fraction at this, and his mouth gradually fell open. Is this game like a dating game or what? Yeah, it is, but apparently the guy that we're trying to romance is avoiding us. So it's like a dating game on hard mode. The background music is fire, yeah. I see. It's good everything is in hand with respect to tidying up. You've been a great help. That didn't bode well. Baxter was as amicable as ever, but his body language was closed off. His tone light in a way you'd long learned was his way of establishing a sense of distance. He's preparing to sever ties now that the wedding is over. Dating sim, but Riz is accurate to real life. It's a visual novel about growing up with these characters and romancing them. Yeah. Baxter is one of the romanceable characters, but his route is limited to a DLC, so you can't really romance him in the base game. I'm playing a DLC. You stink so much that even characters in the video game trying to avoid you? What? Oh my god. Just you wait. Just you guys wait. I still have the wedding DLC. Our character will get married, so don't worry. You inched a little closer, expressing your intent to stay right where you were. This conversation wasn't over with a pleasantry. The slight hunch returned to his shoulders. Well, since I have you for a minute, I wanted to mention it earlier. But there wasn't a convenient moment.
Lovely.
Your outfit. You look wonderful, Mori. Your sense of style is very tasteful. You were truly a showstopper all to yourself. Though I guess it shouldn't be a surprise at this point. It was true years ago, and it's even more so now. He was talking quickly, his eyes never seeming to settle in one place for long. In spite of all the compliments, you found that it was all washed over you without making much of an impression. Holy cope, married but still one of these days. Also, bye, Kiefer, bye. More than anything, you were disappointed. Baxter was deflecting, and doing so in the only way he knew how. It might have been funny to you once. I won't be keeping you any longer. I'm sure you'd appreciate a chance to relax after a tiring week. Before you could react, he was stepping away from the window. In an instant, he was in line with you. In another, he had passed. You knew how this whole song and dance went. He'd led you through it once before. You'd tried your hardest, but if Baxter wasn't willing to meet you halfway, then there was nothing to be done. He decided to walk out on you yet again, step by measured step. And then, you heard a long, drawn-out exhale. Baxter had stopped after a few paces, his back to you. You saw a hand come up to pinch the bridge of his nose. Baxter turned slightly, glancing over his shoulder so his gaze met yours. You didn't say anything. You didn't dare to. Like he was a wild animal, at risk of being spooked. He closed his eyes for a few seconds and breathed, in and out. You blinked, and then he was coming back in your direction, his face set in a determined expression. He stopped a few feet from where you stood, the heels of his dress shoes snapping together.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Mori. You must think I'm avoiding you deliberately. You made a kind of hybrid shrugging, nodding gesture to indicate that, yeah, you'd gotten that feeling. It was hard to miss. You made a noise that was one part laugh and one part sigh. Of course I am. My hope was that you wouldn't notice. What you don't know won't hurt. Oh. I can't. I haven't been talking much the whole week. so I can't speak properly. Of course I am. My hope was that you wouldn't notice. What you don't know won't hurt you and all that. Avoiding people is hurtful no matter what. I mean, yeah, really, Baxter? Why would you think I wouldn't notice? You folded your arms and leveled an unimpressed stare. You were speechless. Fold the arms and stare at him. I'm sorry. It was not my best idea. And since the plan is dashed, I wouldn't want you to get the wrong impression about why. It isn't your fault, and I haven't forgotten everything that happened last night. This is... Really, Baxter has so much sass. I don't want to sass him, bro. Though I do want to guilt trip him. That was the plan from the start. But I think it's a more impactful thing to just cross your arms and stare at him unimpressed. It's only this highly specific situation that has reawakened my How do you pronounce that word? Reawakened my reticence, you might say. What's that word? I don't know. My ESO. What about it? Baxter silently stared over the expansive city for a while. Manipulate him into ignoring your... We'll try. As if collecting his thoughts. Then he finally spoke to you. Really spoke to you. As two people who knew each other with no pretenses in between. It's been hard not to feel nostalgic this past week. We've had quite a stroll down memory lane. Sometimes by happenstance, sometimes because I went out of my way to do so. I have fond memories of those days in Sunset Bird. Treasured memories. Like most treasures, they're things to be taken out and admired from time to time, and then put away again. Though some are too delicate for even that. They should never be touched. He was talking mostly to his shoes. His hands had snuck into his pockets in an uncharacteristically timid gesture.
Yes.
Were you doing triple backflip when? Hold on. Hold on. Wait, no, I'm not gonna do that. We're doing a really serious thing later. Later. We'll do it later. This evening is a reprise. How do I pronounce that? This evening is a reprise of something I never wish to relive. His voice was soft, plaintive. Okay, let me do a retake for that.
Yes.
The voice direction was a little late. You can't even do a triple. No, not right now. Late. This evening is a reprise of something I never wish to relive. His voice was soft, plaintive. There was an ache in it. And there's a motorcycle revving up its engine right outside my window. God. That party was wonderful. The chocolate fountain celebration. Oh, he remembered it too. Yes, the special party we threw after the special after party that we threw just for Baxter to celebrate him for to thank him for organizing the party, because he had left himself out of that party when it happened. It had been so long since I'd known what it was like to be included, to be around people who will refuse to let you be left out, no matter how hard you try to weasel out of it. Terry, Miranda, and Cole were too kind, but it was your gestures specifically that are at the heart of this matter. Why are you making engine noises? It's because I'm a fighter jet, attack helicopter, you know? Sometimes my engineers slips out. Don't worry, I try to keep it to a minimum. He laughed then, a nervous, gasping thing, and pressed a hand instinctively to his chest.
Truthfully,
Here's the truth. If you didn't ask me to dance again, in the after hours of another event we helped create like you did then, it would have broken my heart. That would mean definitely that I lost what we had. My voice is so squeaky, it's taking away from from his lines. I feel so bad. I can't do you justice, Baxter. I don't have a friend on call that could do your voice right now. So you gotta make do with my squeaky little dog voice. I'm so sorry to everyone trying to imagine how wonderfully voiced this guy is. Baxter's tone shook. His hand dropped to his side, where it balled into a fist. The air around you was very still. But if you did ask, it would be more painful. Because that would mean... Baxter struggled to put his deepest feelings to words. The first attempt died off, but he squared his shoulders and forced himself to get it out. It would mean even after everything, you hadn't let me go. That you accepted me still. That you always would have. That I should have believed that all along. That the only thing I've done was hurt you and myself of my own accord. Man. He didn't believe us last time. That summer. Hold on, let me take a drink. Baxter now forever sounds like Mori in my mind. No way! No, he's got a really deep voice. I can't do deep voices. Can't help you out this time, sorry. Yeah. Bonsai has a Shadow Milk voice, so he can't really do a Baxter impression. He's got the Shadow Milk voice. It's not a fit. There was a pain to his words that shocked you to hear. Though by now you would never have made the mistake of thinking he lacked emotion. Baxter still so rarely displayed this kind of naked vulnerability. Baxter tucked his face away from you. It's horrible. I didn't want to know one way or another. I didn't want to know one way or the other.
I'm sorry.
I'm fairly pathetic, you understand. I think we already knew that. That truly was the core of it. Baxter couldn't let himself be happy no matter what. He was scared to hope and too ashamed of himself to try. Do we ask him to dance? Is it too late to ask for that dance? Don't be so hard on yourself. Pathetic? It's like you took the words right out of my mouth. I feel like this is a little too mean. Even if we're trying to guilt trip him. If Bonsai is Shadow Milk, who am I? I have no idea. Bonsai, you decide. Even in our live stream, really now? Shadow Milk lives in my head rent-free. Shadow Milk and Pure Vanilla live in my head rent-free. What do we do, chat? Do we ask him to dance or do we call him pathetic? I'm more here. Option 2. Is it too late to ask for that dance? There's no music. The response came out as nothing more than a defeated whisper. Oh. There's no music. The response came out as nothing more than a defeated whisper. There was a faint sheen in his eyes. His eyes are teary. Or call him pathetic. And yet, Baxter raised his left hand with a palm turned up in a familiar gesture. Okay, let's see. How would he react if we called him pathetic? Now you got me curious, Celeste. Bonsai, you do know there's an actual pancake cookie in Cookie Run. What cookie would I be? I associate you with Moonlight because you have the Moonlight profile picture, Celeste. Let's see. I'm curious. He didn't have anything to say to them? It's not like you were accusing him of something he hadn't already confessed to after all. Wait, no, I feel guilty now. I feel bad. Okay, let's let's go back to my original answer. My original choice. I would say Silent Salt because of that stream. What? Who's your elder fairy then, Ahmed? Who's the elder fairy to your Silent Salt, Ahmed? Is it too late to ask for that dance? There's no music. He offered your palm up to he offered his left hand with the palm turned up in a familiar gesture. You cautiously placed your hand atop his. His fingers were cooler to the touch than you'd expected. Slowly, with gentle care, you began to lead Baxter into a dance. It was hardly a brilliant display of artistry, more a sophisticated sway than anything else. You traced out the sides of a square, lilting in time to an imagined beat. His shoes clicked against the empty dance floor, the only sound to be heard besides the omnipresent whisper of the air conditioner. You didn't say anything more. Your mind was lost in memory. That and the sensation of proximity. It was easy to forget how intense the fact of being mere inches away from another human being could be. This person in particular. What? I look at chat and it made me stop reading back to Celeste. I guess me, because both of us were making these jokes on that stream. Yeah. Evil Ahmed. Oh! Ahmed and Evil Ahmed. That's the ship? Oh my god. I support it. 100%. Same joke, same reaction. It's low-hanging fruit. It always works on me. I don't know why, but it always works on me. This some tale as old as time type stuff. Now we have different bodies. Ooh. Do not ship me with Evil Ahmed. Evil Ahmed, he loves wet walls and hates drywall. That's called toxic yaoi. Low-hanging fruit from the tree that grew from the seed. Alright. Okay. We're having a moment here, guys. We're dancing to the imagined rhythm, no music. Dancing with Baxter. The complex, minute variations in eye shade you only ever noticed up close. A rich brown, warm as the earth, and the delicate curl of the eyelashes. Baxter adjusted his posture stiffly, and it was only then that you became aware of the fact that you'd been staring even more intently than the circumstances demanded. Oh, we've been staring. It would have been worrying if not for the rosy tint creeping into his complexion. He wasn't upset by the attention. After a few quiet revolutions, he found more he wanted to tell you. You've always been understanding, Mori. Excessively so, even. Whenever I look back on that summer in Sunset Bird, I'm stunned by the way I prioritized myself above all else. And yet here I am, making that same mistake. From the moment you walked into that restaurant, my actions were nothing but self-preservation and damage control, and occasionally reminiscing to an extent I was pleased with.
Yes.
Yes, I had a professional commitment. I had a professional commitment not to let personal matters impede the work that needed to be done. But my distancing went far beyond that. In the end, I was using their marriage as an excuse. If not for that, then there would be something else. Some trivial reason for keeping you at arm's length. That likely doesn't shock you. I had you pegged from the get-go. You were avoiding me. I knew. I had bigger shocks from taking off a sweater. No, I'm not surprised. You shook your head, no surprises there. You rolled your eyes. Inside, it was stating the obvious. It likely doesn't shock you. Yeah, I had you pegged from the get-go. I should have done better by you. Jude and Scott as well. Baxter's eyebrows lifted in the middle. A penitent expression.
To be honest.
But if you can still believe me, I hadn't intended for my behavior today to be quite as cruel as it must have come across. Oh yeah? I'm listening. Thank you. In the past, I spent every moment around other people thinking of the limited span of our acquaintance. As if I wasn't seeing them at all. Only the imminent departure. Our arrangements fell in line with that. A clear time frame. Limited from the outset. Predetermined rules set in stone. It was that way 5 years ago. It was that way now. We'd cooperate for a short period in service of Scott and Jude's wedding, and that would be that. I've said as much myself, more than once.
But
The problem is, as I only recently realized. He leaned in a little closer, his voice dipping in volume, letting you in on a secret. I forgot about that. Huh? Seeing the open incredulity on your face, Baxter gave a dry chuckle. Hello, A4! Hi! You see, I thought, completely and earnestly, that I didn't need to speak with you now, here, when I was feeling so sensitive. We could simply pick up where we left off later tonight or tomorrow. The fact that we no longer had a reason to interact didn't come up as part of the consideration. What? The entire time you'd agonized over the idea that after this wedding he'd cut you off, and Baxter was there already imagining what the two of you might be doing next Tuesday. He's imagining a future where we hang out together without any pretenses. Wow! Love how this game is testing Mori's English. I haven't been talking out loud for the whole week. Give me some grace. I've just been slumped over my computer drawing on my tablet. Like, I've been doing art. I don't really need to yap when I'm drawing, you know? Hang out in VC more often, Mori. You need to socialize. I never see you guys in VC. Or maybe I haven't been looking. Oh, well. Or I'll look into it. I'll look into it. Maybe I do need to hang out in VC more. I know. Would have guessed it was possible to retain a connection with someone, even with no limited set of circumstances to support it. Also, because this game has... this game really likes to write long, winding sentences. I don't know when to stop and read the next part, so I flub and have trouble reading out loud. Baxter laughed once, and it was real. But then he returned to utmost seriousness. I'm not going to simply vanish. Not again. I apologize for how stressful this was. I apologize for everything I've ever done to you. Whoa. Whoa. It's a little hard to approach what I've sowed over the years. So many mistakes. And even now, when I hope to make things right, to make things last, I'm forced to admit that I'm ignoring the reality of the situation. Baxter shook his head ruefully. This doesn't come down to what I want at all. I don't have the right to put myself before you. I never did.
Forgive me.
Sorry. I know I'm rambling. The point is, if this is going to continue the way I've been silently picturing, I can't be shallow company. It was getting harder and harder to listen to Baxter talk about himself this way. Again, you recalled your shared history, an evening spent listening to him pour his heart out over your dining room table. Ah yes, that night. Thank you for the hydrate! Vanya! Hello, hello! Happy affiliate anniversary. Right! Right, I forgot about that. Hold on. It's my affiliate anniversary! It's been how many years now since I got affiliate? But yeah, thank you for the greeting. Hi! Welcome in. We are dealing with a very angsty emo man right now. And we're watching him beat himself up by constantly berating himself. Happy anniversary, bro. Yeah. Today marks the day that Twitch allowed me to earn ad revenue. It's my affiliate anniversary, but not my official streaming anniversary. But yeah. Wait. Okay, where was I? Where was I? Thank you for the bits! Oh my god, party! Thank you for the Tigo Bitties! You are now potentially immortalized in the top bit gifters in my chat box. Yeah, yeah! I don't know if my alerts are working. Are they working? No, they're not. Oh my god. Lost tracking right there. Okay. Alright. It's not really that big of a deal, I guess. Well, alright. Because it is my affiliate anniversary, to anyone that... I don't know if it applies to also, like, purchasing your own Twitch sub, but I have activated a promo for sub discounts on Twitch. It'll last for about 12 hours. I don't know if it's working or not, though. No need to send anything, by the way. I'm very happy you guys are greeting me. I'm already really happy about that. Okay, back to the game. Again, you recalled your shared history and evenings spent listening to him pour his heart out over your dining room table. You wanted to interject, to contradict him. Regrets were one thing, but maybe he was taking the self-critique a little too far. There was one thing that stopped you in your tracks, however. The words sticking in your throat. Right now, Baxter was being utterly sincere. He'd thought long and hard about this, and so, despite your misgivings, you'd held your tongue and waited. On that front, there's some of my own advice which I should have followed a long time ago. When the time comes, don't pull away. You'll only regret it later. The words were out before you even noticed, the scene echoing in the back of your mind as you said it. Baxter blinked, startled. Then his features softened for the first time since you'd approached him. Exactly. How apt that was. Though, honestly, I can't believe I had the audacity to say such a thing. To another person. Even if they were a fictional character. Still, in my ignorance, I had a point. My 19-year-old self had a few ideas worth keeping. And he had people he should have held on to as well. Baxter squared his jaw leveled his chin, drawing himself up and looking at you full in the face.
I don't want us to separate after today.
That was a voice line! Did you guys hear that? So there you have it. I would like to become your friend, or remain your friend today, tomorrow, a month from now, a year from now, as long as you want. His heart's desire was made physically manifest by the way he held your hand like he would never let it go. No more running away. I'll listen to whatever you have to say to me, even if it's difficult to hear. Sorry. Sounds wrong. He needs the Mori voice. What? That was his voice. That was his voice, guys. Come on, that's his canonical voice actor saying his line.
I don't want us to separate after today.
Also, sorry, someone was like doing something distracting beside me. I was looking beside me like the whole time. Don't worry, they're gone now. Does he have to have the Mori voice? Goddamn. I remember on your 4th anniversary of streaming, I said I'm 99 million years old and Bonsai was about to get the gun. I'm sorry about Bonsai. He tends to overreact. We need to train him. I'll listen to whatever you have to say to me, even if it's difficult to hear. His mouth pulled up in a bashful little semi-smile. Guys! Okay. It's 3 p.m! How has nobody reminded me? I need to take my meds. Hold on. Hello, chat. Why does the VTuber model look high every time it freezes? Would you rather it goes back to like default pose and stare at you for like 5 minutes instead? Would you rather see that? Also, I got a snack, guys. I got snacks. Wow, I got snacks. Bro's back. Yes, I'm back. I have taken my medicine. Oh, there was an ad break. Okay. Well, ad break's over. His mouth pulled up in a bashful little semi-smile, his posture open and vulnerable. There was an earnest, almost childlike aura of hope around him. Almost childlike aura of hope about him. As Baxter patiently awaited your response, you mentally scrambled to make sense of how you felt. There was a lightness to everything. Suddenly, your whole body felt tingly. You had done it. Somehow you'd reconnected with a man you'd thought lost for good. And he wanted to be friends? That was amazing, and you'd wanted something other than friendship. You had to... Do we tell him right now? Do we tell him right now? What? Medicine, more like medicinations. That's how I saw it. Right. Also, hello, Void. I took a pic of your VTuber being scared. Hold on. Let me take a bite of my snacks, guys. I have snacks with me now. Post it on the community. The world needs a yeah, post it on the community tab. Wow. What did we do? That's all you'd ever wanted? Ooh. Well, we do want to romance him. We do. Our ultimate goal is to end up with him, so... do we do that right now, though? Do we do that right now? No. Like, right in front of our other friends in the other side of the room? Topic for me? You would. You would, Bonsai. You would pick that option. The first option. Hey, guys. I just want to give a little heads up for this. Because there is also another route for this. Where he... he confesses to you. See? Because these options are asking us if we are going to be confessing to him. But there's the game gives you the opportunity where this guy is going to do it himself. He's going to admit it himself. So do you want to be the one to to make the move, or do you want to let him make the move? Have some decorum. So basically we play hard to get. Yeah, do you guys want to play hard to get? There's other opportunities for this. The route where he chooses your stinkiness instead of you forcing him to. Okay, you didn't have to put it that way. You didn't have to put it that way. Alright, you could express your feelings later. You'd waited for Baxter Ward a long time. It was something you were almost used to by this point. What was the harm in a little more, when there was so much to gain in the meantime? We just hug him. Let's give him a hug. You heard a muffled oof as you collided with his midriff, your arms pinning his own to his sides. He was motionless for a second, seeming not to register what was happening. Then, like a balloon deflating, you felt all the pressure go out of him, his head tilted sideways, resting against your own. You stayed like that for a while, breathing in unison. Sometime later, out of the silence, came a muffled voice which tickled the hair on the back of your neck. What? Wait, this is new content for me. I was just popping in before I go to bed later. This good news, I'll be able to show up to streams now as I no longer have work on. Oh! Anyway, have a good night, Void. Have some good sleep, okay? Starting next week. That sounds good. Less work. Wow! It's amazing. I never want Mori to hug me. Yes, you will stop breathing. Actually, I will actually just strangle you. Bye! Yippee! Yippee! Less work! Yippee!
I appreciate the understanding.
Thank you, Mori. Thank you. To continue the reference, I think it must be how those characters felt by the end of the play. All their feelings out in the open at last. I hadn't appreciated how something that seems like melodrama from the outside can be entirely different when you live through it. It can be understandable enough. Understandable doesn't mean preferable, you joked. It was definitely a load of melodrama. You nodded. It's definitely been a journey. I forgot now I'm a mod on 10 channels. Wow! Mori admitting to murder. I never said that. I never. You don't have evidence. I'm going to private the VOD. You guys didn't hear me say it. Ahmed turns gold after he gets 100 channels. What? Doesn't he turn gold already? 10 channels is a lot. Understandable doesn't mean preferable. Not meaning to throw any unnecessary shade as so soon after Baxter's life-changing revelation, but come on, this had to be the definition of painful drama. Baxter laughed, a hand coming up to cover his mouth. That is also true.
It's settled.
Regardless, our own story has a happy ending after all. That was a good way of putting it, you thought. It had taken 5 years and a Herculean amount of persistence to push past Baxter's interpersonal issues, but you'd made it. He wasn't about to disappear off the face of the earth, or cut you off without warning. You were friends again. You couldn't have been more satisfied with this outcome. It almost didn't bear thinking about what might have happened if you'd never agreed to help out with Scott and Jude's special day. While there was still that little corner of your heart that yearned for Baxter, you were simply overjoyed to be by his side. Fate had given you a second chance. You weren't about to squander it by being ungrateful. As you began to come down from the momentary high that this new development had caused, Baxter pointedly cleared his throat. Well then, my brilliant, lovely friend, if you're up for it, I have a proposition for you. You know how I love propositions. Propose away. It's nothing too exciting, but Scott and Jude are off on their honeymoon now, and I'm not sure what your sleeping arrangement are for the rest of your time here.
I'm here if you need me.
If you'll be there alone, that sounds a tad lonely. What I'm saying is, if you haven't got any alternative plans, perhaps you'd like to keep rooming with me. He's asking us to stay at his apartment? The question was said with some hesitancy. He was a bashful grammar question? He was bashful about asking. For what felt like the umpteenth time today, you couldn't quite believe what you'd heard. You want me to stay at your apartment? Yes, at least until your return journey home. I'd feel awful if I didn't at least offer. It's fine if not, but, well, if you do want to, I'd be delighted to host you. Baxter was right. Jude and Scott had said you'd be welcome to stay as long as you needed while they were away, but still. There was a small part of your brain that didn't want to let Baxter out of your sight for too long, just in case he vanished, and it wasn't as if you'd never spent the night there. Taking your thoughtfulness for hesitancy, Baxter piped back up again.
Of course.
It's more than okay if you'd find that more uncomfortable. We hadn't seen each other in years a week ago, and now I'm asking you to stay with me. Not wanting him to entertain that negative train of thought any longer than necessary, you hurried to let him know your thoughts. Are you kidding? Of course I want to stay with you. Whoa. The resultant change in Baxter's demeanor was extraordinary. His eyes lit up, his cheeks dimpled, and you thought you could almost see his ears tweak. It was like watching a kitten. Why would you describe it like that? Baxter Catboy confirmed. Can't believe it. Hold on. Let me get a drink. Sleepover with Catboy art. You're certain? You nodded reassuringly. When it made him this visibly excited, how could you possibly refuse? The Catboy.
That's wonderful.
That's fantastic. I've invited a friend to come visit. That's fantastic. I've invited a friend to come visit. In that case, since there's no time like the present, why don't we go see how the others are doing with the last of the cleanup? We can let them know about our plans while we're at it. Okay. Alright, heading back to Cove, and Terry and Miranda. You trotted along behind him, away from the big windows and back toward the table where Terry, Miranda, and Cove had been working while you had your tete-a-tete with Baxter. It didn't look like there was much, if anything, left to do. Carrie and Miranda were playing some co-op game on their phones. Cove had, big surprise, pinched another helping of carrot cake. No! Leave some for the rest of us, Cove! All the remaining food and decorations were gone, tidied away into boxes and out of sight. The hall was picked clean and empty, save for the 5 of you and some scattered members of staff.
How are you?
Hello, everyone. Are we finished here? Miranda glanced up from her phone as you approached. Glad to see you both. Yep, it's done. The only thing left is the tables, but the staff let us know the staff let us know we can go ahead and leave that to them. All we need to do is pack up the car and get out of here. I told you he brought the cake from home. No, it's the carrot cake from earlier. Baxter nodded thoughtfully, his logical brain kicking into gear. Excellent, that's good to know. It'll take a number of trips in the elevator to transport everything. I can help out with carting it all down to the garage, no trouble. Thanks. Not gonna lie, my arms are dead tired. Don't mention it. But before that, I was wondering if I might have a moment of your time. Bing bong! That was probably a delivery. That's not mine. That's not mine. No. Can we have a moment of your time? His eyes shifted to you, a hint of that earlier nervousness creeping back into his voice. Baxter cared just as much about patching things up with everyone else as he did with you. The thought had you smiling at him in reassurance and encouragement. You could do it. Miranda, Terry, and Cove, seated round the table, eyed the pair of you with varying degrees of intrigue and skepticism. Oh. Did I just burp? No way. It's because I'm munching on snack that I'm burping. No! No way! Terrible time to munch on snacks, actually. Because I'm reading out loud. Then I have to put food in my mouth? Man. Harry was the first to break the silence. Sure thing, B-Man. Lay it on us. Why would you? You're so excited, Mori. I'm gonna stay with Baxter for a while. Baxter laughed at your direct explanation. He placed a hand on his head and nodded confidently. You eating a snack in front of me, meanwhile I'm fasting. I'm so sorry. I have to have food in my stomach just so I can avoid feeling nauseous from the medicine. So I had to have a snack. There was no point in being embarrassed anymore.
Yes.
That's right. I invited Mori to be a guest at my apartment, since Jude and Scott have left on their honeymoon. That way, they don't have to be there alone during the rest of their stay in the area. Also, because I would simply enjoy having their company. Cave's fork clattered against the plate before bounding onto the table and throwing crumbs everywhere. Your friends were shocked. Your friends were too shocked by the news to even react to that noise. They stared instead. Finally, Terry cracked a smile and gave Miranda a nudging elbow as she needed to get a look at this. Then he whistled.
Sorry.
I don't know how he does it, but the man has done it. He whistled louder this time, and Miranda slapped a hand across her mouth. She spun away from the group. It was still obvious by the way her shoulders were shaking that she was laughing. Relieved, you glanced at Baxter, and he idly brushed his swoop of bangs with his fingers. You noted that his skin was a shade pinker than before. But really, how did you do
To
it?
be honest,
To be honest, I'm not quite sure either. Though I imagine it has more to do with Mori's generosity and kindness than any quality I possessed. Cove released the edge of the plate he was holding and folded his arms. He slowly turned his body toward Baxter and raised a skeptical brow. Are you sure this is a good idea, Mori? Oh, Cove. Hold on. Wait. Okay. There's a lot of things happening outside me right now, but I need something to wipe down the table. Okay, so I have been shown what arrived after that doorbell rang. My Mori mom showed me carbonated iced tea. Carbonated iced tea, guys. What do you guys think that'll taste like? I'll try it out eventually.
I'm sorry.
For what it's worth, I am sincerely sorry. Frowning, Cove shifted his attention solely to you. Solely to you. He was worried, and he had every reason to be. Cove was there for the aftermath of Baxter's departure. Baxter knows he hasn't been reliable, but he wants to make amends, and I believe him. It was difficult to decipher Cove's thoughts on the situation. He was carefully weighing your judgment against them. Slowly, the corner of his mouth tugged into a bent smile.
Alright.
Oh, Cove. Okay, if you say so. Sighing, you breathed for the first time since the conversation started. Cove's support, despite his understandable reservations, meant so much. Carrie and Miranda exchanged a silent grin with one another, and then shared it with you. Somehow, you'd managed to defy the odds. It was a marvel to everyone standing there that everything had worked out. Working as a team, those left in the venue carried piles of boxes and bags into the elevator and down to Terry's van. It took a few trips, a couple of high fives, one dive for the elevator doors, and many silly comments, and it was done. Then came the final puzzle, fitting it all in the vehicle. After some creative arrangement work inside the trunk, what remained of the wedding had been safely packed away. Is the cake safe? Please, bring that away from Cove. He might finish it off during the trip, okay? Together with Terry and Cove, you squished the trunk door shut and pressed. When you heard it click into position, the three of you slumped forward and sighed wearily. Terry spun on his heel and wiped his forehead with another of his exaggerated displays of exhaustion. Phew! Another successful party in the bag. Terry moved to Miranda's side and hooked his arm around her shoulders. He playfully pulled her in close. We're professionals at this point. You guys just planned 2 parties! Well, I guess. Okay, I have finished my snack. Miranda rolled her eyes, but nothing could derail her unmistakable delight in her boyfriend's proclamation. She lightly patted his hand on her shoulder. Terry Baxter is a professional. Did you forget?
Nah.
No. Okay. I had to take a drink. Alright. No, that only proves my point. We're doing the same work. Miranda giggled and simply accepted Terry's argument. She shook her head as she calmed down.
Thank you.
None of this would have been possible without any of you. You did a great thing for my family. Thank you so much. Miranda sniffled and blinked, trying to keep the tears away. I think the wedding was great. You did a really good job. Terry nodded solemnly and gently rubbed the side of Miranda's arm. Baxter watched over the group, smiling earnestly. Despite all the talk about being professionals, it was the least businesslike Baxter had acted around them in 5 years.
You're good.
Likewise, your efforts were impressive. Thanks everyone, go team! Thanks to me for all the hard work I did, huh? I'm never planning a wedding ever again. Don't say that. We're about to after this DLC, you know? Gave a thumbs up. Go team! Even though that's kinda corny. Wiping your palms on the side of your fine attire, it was hard to believe the wedding was truly done. It kind of felt like you'd won a championship. Wait. Okay. I got distracted. What's happening? Thanks everyone, go team. Wiping your palms to the sides on the sides of your fine attire, it was hard to believe the wedding was truly done. It kind of felt like you'd won a championship. You were in need of a shower and a big block of uninterrupted sleep, but you also felt a huge surge of pride for the hard work that paid off today. We actually made it. Woo! Terry threw a fist in the air with his cheer and Miranda joined him on the next one. Baxter clapped gracefully.
Fun!
Yay! Party planning committee reunion! On that note, the wedding was officially done. There was no reason for any of you to return to the empty event room, and tomorrow strangely lacked any important appointments. Time for the post-wedding drama! There wasn't a single reason remaining for you to set foot in Baxter's office anytime soon. It was entirely at an end. The only traces of what originally brought the five of you back together had been unceremoniously stuffed into the van. It was unintentional, but you stood there in a moment of silence until Baxter used that opening to clear his throat. Since we're gathered here and there's no longer a wedding to fuss over planning anymore, I must use this opportunity to properly apologize to the rest of you. Baxter threaded his fingers through his hair and faced the uncertainty staring back at him. Not to beat around the bush, I treated your friendship and the time we spent together inconsiderately. I decided things for you and about you without letting you have a say in it.
I'm sorry.
I was wrong to do that. It was unfair, and I'm sorry. His sincerity left the three unable to react. At first, anyway. Gradually, the words sunk in, and your friend's attention flickered between you and him. You corners of Terry's mouth tugged into a satisfied smile. He proudly raised his chin and bumped his fist into Baxter's shoulder.
Finally!
I always knew you had it in you. Better late than never, B-man. Miranda bashfully wrapped a stray curl around her finger and hummed in agreement. Yep. There's no reason why we need to forgive you anymore. There's no reason why we need to forgive you anymore. Exactly, so don't worry. It's all water under the bridge now. They forgive him! Sure, forget it. We can start over. Finally, Baxter's lips parted and he breathed a deep sigh of relief. The weight of his worries visibly lifted free. How long was he wanting to do that? Years, you imagined, anxiously picturing the possible directions that conversation could have gone.
I appreciate the understanding.
Again. Yep, we are understanding people. Alrighty, so. Harry clapped and then pointed to the van. Miranda and Cove nodded, understanding what that cue meant. Some of us are still gonna have to unpack this mess. We gotta get out of here, right, Randy? Sorry. No, please, go on. Short goodbyes were traded, and then Terry, Miranda, and Cove tiredly slid into the van. Somehow, Mr. Holden had convinced Cove to stay in his old bedroom, despite it being turned into a makeshift storage container and the others were going to drop him off on their way. You encouraged him to do it, even though he would have been happy to join you in the Adams house. Cove rolled down his window and propped himself on his elbow. He waved you closer.
Oh.
By the way, it's gonna be a busy day for me tomorrow. Me and my dad, you know. Terry leaned back in his seat and tried to spot you through the back window. When he couldn't see past Cove's body, he opted to yell his comment. Randy and I are working. If things go well, you're gonna have time to yourself after all this. Thanks for that. I don't think I'll need an escape route, but I'll keep your busy schedules in mind. After that, sleepy promises to see each other soon were shared, and then, at long last, everyone went on their way for the night. There was one final pit stop left before you could return to Baxter's place in the city and rest. Jude and Scott's house. The suburbs were calling you to come and collect your clothes. During the drive, you sent them a text to let them know how your plans had changed. The newlyweds responded quickly, and they were thrilled to hear that you would have company while you were still in the area. While they never outright said it, you got the impression over the last few days that they had been feeling guilty. Honeymoon or not, leaving a house guest behind just didn't sit right with either of them. Their thoughtfulness and concern were appreciated, but now the lot of you could breathe easily. Before putting your phone away, you sent off the last text wishing them well and safe travels on their honeymoon. They replied instantly and thanked you for helping give them one of the best days of their lives. Oh, we're back home. My sis is eating cake and drinking coffee while I'm fasting. No! Stay strong, Ahmed! Just like the cake that they packed up, you too will enjoy your cake soon enough after you've finished fasting. It struck an odd note observing how silent... Whoa, wait. When you reached the house, Baxter parked the car and followed you out. In seconds, you unlocked the front door with the handy spare key you'd been gifted and led him inside. It struck an odd note observing how silent the house was without Jude or Scott to fill the space. You were newly relieved to not be there by yourself. Though it kind of sucked to have to pack so soon after cleaning the event room, there was a growing anticipation in your gut that spurred you on. Ahmed is just suffering here. Well, I mean... that's usually how fasting goes. It's usually the voluntary thing that you have to go through. when you're doing fasting. You have to resist the temptation of food. I'm suing my sis for eating in front of me like Mori. No, no, you can't sue me. I'm a virtual dog on the internet. I don't exist. I'll be your lawyer. Who's lawyer? Who's lawyer? There was no way of knowing what to expect from temporarily moving yourself in with Baxter, but you were optimistic. Oh, right. We're going to be staying at Baxter's place for the rest of our visit. Peeking past your shoulder, you spotted Baxter in the doorway. He was graciously waiting on standby, and once you were ready, he stepped in and helped carry your bags to his car. Not once did he utter a single complaint, but fortunately, you also hadn't brought nearly as much as an entire wedding's worth of things. Between the two of you, it didn't take as long as it took to pack Terry's van, and then you were ready to go again. But you did one more sweep of the house to make sure everything was in check. Nothing was left on, and you locked the door. Then the two of you were on your way once more, off to Baxter's place. For some reason, I feel the presence of Ivan. Kiefer, we don't need to talk about them anymore. They're banned. There's a reason they got banned. So please don't bring up banned people anymore. Is it normal every night to get knocks at the window door 12 in the morning? Yeah, it's normal. You should open the door when you hear those knocks. Yeah, that's normal. You should open the door. When you hear the knocks, open the door. 12 in the morning. From there, Baxter brought you to his apartment for a second time and pushed the door open. He flipped a nearby light switch and together you went inside. Instantly, you felt at ease. Baxter wanted you there and you wanted to be there. Sighing drowsily, your body knew there was nothing left to worry about. You could finally rest. Baxter seemed equally ready to collapse at the end of a long, long chain of stressful challenges.
Now?
Well, now. He exhaled deeply, and despite his weary demeanor, Baxter offered you an amiable smile. Are you ready to get settled in? We can bring the bags into your room. And then you'd be free to get changed into something more comfortable. Or to pass out. Anything you wish. For a moment, you found yourself caught on his choice of words, declaring the guest room as plainly yours. It was wonderful, but almost far-fetched to believe that you held a concrete place within Baxter's world. Yes, please. I would like to pass out now. After the busy day you had, you were more than ready to put on something infinitely more comfortable. Wonderful. Baxter rubbed the side of his cheek and yawned. He took a pause to get his sore body moving again, and at some point, his thoughts wandered off elsewhere. Yes. He glanced roughly to the direction of his bedroom and sighed. Crossing your arms, you tilted your head curiously. What's wrong? I was recalling the state of my own room, and I'm fairly certain it's a mess thanks to the debacle this morning. So, nothing important. I'm not eager to tackle that tonight. It's a problem I'll deal with at a later date. I'm good at that, aren't I? His usual self-derisive jabbing had all the bite taken out of it. He smirked with honest amusement. Yep, basically. It was kind of funny, which was wild. Then, Baxter brushed that thought off and returned his attention to the present task. He helped you carry your bags. I'll come back to the living room area once I'm finished getting out of this uniform. Feel free to change and decompress at your own leisure. You answered with a content but sleepy hum and followed Baxter to the guest room. Once your bags were safely inside, he cleared his throat.
See you.
Please, excuse me for now. After that, he swiftly exited the room. For the first time in a while, Watching him go didn't strike an odd chord. Okay, I just looked at chat again. Mods, can we ban this guy? He needs to stop talking. Mods, can we ban that guy? Like, okay, I'm 100% serious right now. This is kind of weird. Kind of weird now. It's gotten kind of weird. It's gotten kind of weird. Oh my god. Thank you. Oh my. I'm sorry you guys had to go through that. We finally found a reason to ban the guy. Unfortunately, I apologize for interrupting the stream like this, but it has gotten weird, and I don't like weird in my chat room. Okay, back to the game. I'll try my best to go back to normal. The two of you would talk later, and you knew that for a fact. The apartment wasn't that big, so there wasn't a chance that you could miss each other. In the meantime, you began unpacking and arranging your things in this new space. There was no rush, but the small changes were comforting. Later, when you were showered and dressed much more comfortably in your sleepwear, you found yourself wandering into the living room. There you spotted Baxter, leaning over the counter in the kitchen. Why is Ahmed modded but not me? You still exist, evil Ahmed, yeah! Why do you still exist? Oh my god. Evil Ahmed is not a mod, but good Ahmed is. I trust good Ahmed better than evil Ahmed. You had a sudden realization. Despite spending the previous night in the same place, you never had caught a glimpse of what Baxter wore to bed. All you saw was the sight of him in his leafy underwear. Baxter remained obscure behind the furniture and perused something on his phone with a creased brow. You wondered if there was some wrap-up still needed for the contractors that worked on the wedding. Before you could ask, Baxter joyfully abandoned his phone on the counter because of your arrival. He straightened his back to his full height, and you got the best view of what he was wearing. White silk jammies with a shiny black trim. On his feet, a pair of zebra-striped fuzzy slippers. No! The black and white man is back! Ah, Mori. Hello again. He unconsciously smoothed the front of his shirt, but froze the second he touched the silky material. The corner of his mouth quirked. I'm pleased to see you're seeming relaxed. After the day we had, I am aware of how this looks, with the limited color scheme of my attire. I kindly ask you not to laugh. I won't. He's back to his black and white days, guys. Why was evil Ahmed timed out? No way, no way. The work clothes were pushing it, but there's no coincidence here. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, some things really do say the same. I have no complaints, they're very nice pajamas. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Despite the wide grin stretching from ear to ear, you did try to give him a break. If Baxter wanted to pretend he had outgrown his monochromatic taste, then you could certainly play along. Baxter stared at you in shock. He pinched a bit of the front of his He pinched a bit of the front fabric of his shirt and lifted it an inch.
Really?
You're genuinely not going to say anything. I'm caught black-handed in monochrome. Look at his last message. Ahmed is cringe because he loves drywall. No! No way! So that's why he got timed out. There was slander. There's slander. Nope, I didn't notice. In an exaggerated act of surprise, you placed a palm to your forehead. Your gaze fell to the floor and you nearly erupted in a fit of giggles. Baxter was monochrome from his head to his feet. Baxter covered his mouth and momentarily tried to turn away. He instantly failed to hide his own amusement. Fine, I confess. I haven't outgrown the aesthetic as much as I claim. Black and white remains my preferred color scheme. And all my pajamas are these colors. So you were bound to put all the puzzle pieces together. Your cheeks began to ache from a splitting grin. Baxter crossed his arms, but his expression remained fond. I only wish to indulge in my habits in a private manner. You weren't very good at the private part. Baxter's mouth opened, but his phone buzzed before he could speak. You still have work to do? It shouldn't be. Baxter reached over the counter and checked. His playfulness quickly vanished and his smile strained. Regrettably, no, not work. This should be significantly more painful. His voice fell to a hushed whisper when he reached for the phone. Hello, Xavier. He muttered the name like his own personal arch-nemesis. Hello, Xavier. You recognized it immediately. Xavier was the baker, and Baxter's work acquaintance, who considered him a friend regardless. That put the reason for the night call, and Baxter's words into a much better context. Baxter lightly tapped the screen and set the phone on speaker.
Hi.
Hi, sorry to call so late. I wanted to check in on how the wedding went, and on you, now that it's done. Are you holding up alright? Baxter's gaze landed on you. The day you met Xavier, Baxter was still trying to push you away as quickly and professionally as he could. It was incredible how everything had changed.
How wonderful.
That's so considerate. Yes, I would say I'm doing quite well. Hi, Xavier. Thanks for checking in. I'm here too. Baxter has this on speaker. Xavier, good to hear from you. Oh, you're such a sweetheart. You stayed quiet. Hi, Xavier. Thanks for checking in. Hi. Wait. Who's this? They stopped mid-word and the line went silent. As the seconds stretched on, you stared at Baxter. He offered a casual shrug and that was it. He was far too amused by them being the one caught off guard. Mori, right? That's who you are? Bingo, you got it. Yes, I thought so. I certainly thought so. Hi, Mori. The tone in Xavier's voice shifted smugly. You watched a small crease form in Baxter's brow. So, Mori's still in your presence, Baxter? Yes, they are. Even though the wedding is finished? Yes. Well, Baxter huffed confidently, as if their designs had all gone to plan, despite them not having any part of it.
That's incredible.
That's lovely. I'm truly happy to hear that, Baxter.
Of course.
I'm sure you are. I also invited Mori to stay at my apartment for the remainder of their trip.
They're rooming at your apartment?
Didn't you swear up and down that you were, I quote, never going to associate with them after the wedding? Baxter met your eye for a split second and found himself staring at the ceiling. He tapped at the counter, smiling wryly. Yes, in both matters. I do not understand what's going on with you two. Neither you nor Baxter knew what to say next. Xavier's plain words hung there in the air until they let you both off the hook.
So?
We should get together before Mori leaves. You did mention that before. I know, I meant it then. I meant it now. Baxter sighed quietly and brushed his hand through his hair. Things never really went his way interpersonal relationship-wise. Does tomorrow work? We can grab some coffee. Ah. Baxter hesitated and checked her face for an answer. He moved to speak, but he remembered he was supposed to be good at managing people. Please hold. He automatically used his customer service voice and clicked the screen, putting the call on mute. Baxter carefully rested the phone face down. He breathed in deep and then slowly exhaled. Baxter wore a tired smile. I apologize. I should have anticipated that Xavier would follow through on that threat or request. I've got to see my mom's. I was planning on doing that tomorrow, but that's not exactly a 24-hour event.
I understand.
Of course. You've been busy with the wedding preparation. Tomorrow was finally a free day. Right. I haven't seen my mom since I got here. They've been waiting for me to come home and visit. That's a wonderful plan. I can drive you to Sunset Bird in the morning, and you can spend some quality time with your parents. They must be eager to see you. Nodding, you were curious about how your day was shaping up for tomorrow. Baxter's return to the neighborhood would be a massive surprise. Don't worry, I'll stay out of your way once you're there. Perhaps I'll accept that coffee with Xavier. What? You're not coming with me? You don't want to see my moms? You don't want to see my moms? Don't you want to see my moms? They haven't seen you in years. I'm sure they want to say hi. Please send them my regards. Baxter. Baxter grew flustered in front of your growing frown. He ruffled his hair and caused several pieces to stick out oddly in his frustration. His mouth pressed into a fine line.
I swear.
I'm doing it again. It's always my first response. He straightened himself out properly before speaking to you again. In the spirit of being truthful about my feelings, even when they're not ideal, I'll admit I'm nervous to meet your mothers again. I'm not exactly thrilled to see what would happen if I appeared in front of them. I doubt they've forgotten anything. I made a terrible impression on them, didn't I? Alright, that's a pretty good reason to be worried, but avoiding people isn't you anymore, right? He rubbed the back of his neck and shrugged. Baxter seemed to be relieved you were at least able to understand one another. Old habits die hard. Still, you should come with me. They'll forgive you. So they do dislike me. I mean, you made their child, you broke their child's heart, so they kinda don't like you for that. Nothing is as bad as it feels in your thoughts. My parents are sweet. They're going to hear about the wedding anyway. You're an important part in that story. Unfortunately, those words did little to persuade Baxter. He continued to drag his feet over this predicament. He wasn't willing to accept the invitation, but he also wasn't willing to outright reject you either. Come on, there's an entire day tomorrow. We can go visit Xavier, and you can come with me to see my moms.
Oh?
A compromise, Xavier wanted to meet in the morning. Didn't you want to visit your mom's first thing? Do we meet with Xavier first, or do we visit our moms? Can we have a choice? Can we pick, chat? What do you guys think? I say, I wouldn't want to hold up Xavier. So let's have a coffee with Xavier in the morning, and then we can visit our moms anytime anyway, so we can just head on over there in the afternoon. There's time for both. We could ask Xavier if they'd rather have a drink with him. I don't mind seeing my moms later. Number 4. What does number 4 do? I haven't actually picked that before, in the many times that I played through this. Sounds good. Well. Okay. Let's do Xavier first and then our moms. Pick 5. There's time for both. I suppose there is. Okay, yeah, he defaults to visiting the moms first, but let's do the moms later on. I see. Baxter pressed a couple fingers to his chin and reconsidered the options. His eyebrow arched curiously. In that case, would you be interested in revisiting the cafe I took you to back then? It's still in business. Really? 5 years. 5 years and it's still standing. Wow. I haven't seen a business last 5 years in a long time. Yeah, that'd be cool. Then, one final detail. Would you be fine seeing Xavier not too early in the morning? You knew Baxter would agree to whatever you decided, but his brown eyes begged for mercy. No, early mornings, please. Don't worry, there's no rush. We can relax and leave whenever we're ready tomorrow. Baxter pressed a dramatic hand over his heart. He expressed a genuine sigh of relief.
Good.
Good. It seems we have a plan. Now we need to run it by Xavier and their current schedule. He tapped the screen and turned the mute setting off. Xavier, are you still there?
Mm-hmm.
I am. Excellent. Thank you very much for waiting. It is fine. I imagine Mori wouldn't let you hang up on me, even if you wanted to. Very funny. We just needed a moment to sort out a few pertinent details. And you're in luck. Mori does have time to see you tomorrow. Would you be amiable enough to let us choose the location? There's a charming cafe we like that would be perfect for the 3 of us. That sounds perfect.
It's settled.
We'll do it. I'll text you the address and a specific meet time after the call. You were proud of him. Baxter had well and truly changed. Okay. Mori's lucky to have such a well-mannered personal assistant. Yeah, we got ourselves a personal assistant, chat. He's not our friend, he's our personal assistant. I'm not their assistant, I'm Mori's friend. Oh, it warmed your heart to hear him proclaim that confidently.
Even better.
Even better. Xavier must have shared your joy hearing Baxter so freely allowing himself to be happy. In your mind, you could picture a warm smile across their face.
Goodbye for today.
Mori and I will see you tomorrow. Xavier. Goodbye. Bye. Thanks for calling. It was wonderful here. Can't wait to see you. Bye. Hopefully they'd hear you before the call ended. Baxter smirked as you absent-mindedly gave a short wave with your goodbye. Bye. And so, Baxter tapped the screen to end the call. He left the phone on the counter. Just like that, the 2 of you had a full day of plans set. Well? His full-force smile dimmed. For a little while, you both managed to be casual, as if everything was normal and nothing had ever happened. Like you'd never been apart. Oh my god, I just saw what happened. I just saw who joined the server. Oh my god. Evil Ahmed has breached the server. Oh no. We will deal with the welcome party for Evil Ahmed later. But in the late hour when there was nothing left of casual life distractions, the lingering unease revealed itself. I apologize for keeping you up. I don't mind. Then, would you want to talk for a little longer? As sorry as I am, I don't think I've been as open as I could have been. You accepted how I was. Still am in some regards, but can't fully understand it. Am I right? He was. There was no denying it. You'd never grasp the reason for the way he acted. Yeah. If you're really gonna explain, I'm not going to stop you. Then... Baxter's attention wandered about his apartment. He slipped a hand into his pocket. Could we move this downstairs? The lobby of my building has an amenity I'm rather fond of. Interesting. This had already taken a turn for the unexpected, but if whatever it was would make him feel better, you could go with it. Sure. Thank you. Oh, a fireplace. He led you out of the apartment and down the elevator to the ground floor lobby. From there, you went to one corner where a seating area surrounded a chic, modern fireplace. It was alight. That was what he was drawn to. You knew it without being told. Here we are. After sweeping his hand out over the space, Baxter settled into a chair by the fire. You took a spot near him. The fire popped and crackled. You watched the flames, hypnotized by the way they danced. This is a humbler setting than the last fireside talk we had, isn't it? After such a long walk down memory lane, it would have been lovely to return to that mountain lodge together. Rand and Terry will be taking a grand trip. On my suggestion, might I add. It only seems fair we should as well. Throwing his hands in mock defeat, Baxter could only laugh at himself. Of course, when have I ever taken my own damn advice? Well,
Never.
don't answer. I know. It's never. Or perhaps never until only today. Yep, that was the correct reply. At least in this case, it's not for lack of trying, or a stubborn impulse to do the opposite of what would improve my life. It's simply the charming reality of limited expendable income. Oh, bros, he's poor. Oh, he can't keep up with the penthouse rent. Oh no. Baxter sounds more and more like a catboy as the story goes on. True. I can't afford to flitter off on vacations whenever the mood strikes the way my parents can. But I have a very comfortable existence. He shrugged a shoulder, sinking deeper into his seat.
It's
It's nice, if lonely. Baxter? Poor? Absurd. The rich boy? The guy from the wealthy family? He's poor? Absurd. Broke cat. Of course, let's not pretend I have anyone to blame for that other than myself. I ended every relationship I had with my own actions. It's the story of my life. I want to be liked, but I don't want to be important. Don't we all? I guess. You don't really want to be the star of the show if you're living a really prominent life. A suitor for a season, the planner of a wedding. It's that kind of role I'm comfortable in. Perhaps that's why I'm drawn to people who are wanted by everyone else. They don't need me. I can be someone. They don't need me. I can be someone. I can't be the one. Why? The word came out instinctively, before you could stop yourself. There was no reason for him to believe that about himself. You couldn't accept it. Baxter's arms and legs crossed as he closed his eyes in contemplation.
to be honest.
I'm not sure I would have been able to answer before, even if I wanted to. Which I didn't until very recently, as you saw firsthand. I understood where my limits were and generally left it at that. But where did those lines come from? I'd begun to reflect on it since I met you again. Seeing you made me doubt my own motivations. And I came to a conclusion somewhere along the way. I did know. I knew it all along. I simply chose not to think about it for a long time. Finally, he looked at you again. His eyes were a dark pool, crystal clear but bottomless. I don't deserve to have that kind of relationship with another person. That's why. You think that? You don't need to. The same question came to the tip of your tongue. Why? You felt as if you were asking that with him. But this time you didn't have to. Baxter answered the unspoken plea on his own.
You need to understand.
I don't contribute anything. Maybe I can impress others for a time, but how do you go beyond that? I can't say what it means to be significant as a person. To be irreplaceable. And since I don't have the answer, I certainly wasn't going to assume I do it by accident. The more Baxter voiced these long hidden feelings, the quieter he spoke. Baxter whispered to the fire, as if he was all alone. What does it take to add value to someone simply just by being there? I tried, but I never knew. In my eyes, there's a world of humans living freely among one another, while every connection I create is so fragile. If I make the wrong step, I might hurt them, or be hurt myself. And if it's strained at all, it'll break entirely. Of course, I could be entirely off the mark, and everyone else might have the same struggles. What would I know, right? Baxter smirked self-derisively, recalling he had an audience.
But
Still, it was frightening to want a deeper connection, because I couldn't do it. So I lived on, accepting what seemed to be my reality. It was painful listening to his innermost fears and insecurities. But Baxter wasn't done reflecting. You gritted your teeth and stayed quiet. I'm old enough to have forgotten my earliest years. Everything before about 6, maybe 7. Oh. I gotta stop myself. Be reminded this was written back in like 2023, I think. 2024. Way before it ever happened, but like I gotta restrain myself. Gotta stop myself. Not the meme. I laugh at it because of the irony. Back then I was like, it doesn't really mean anything. It's not really funny. Back then. But now no, wait! I clicked the wrong thing. I was clicking something in chat. I did not mean to delete that. Oh my god. I meant to say unpin message, not delete message. No. Unpin message. Okay, there. 6? Maybe 7? What meme? I wasn't paying attention. 6, maybe 7 is nothing but a vague blur. I'm not gonna say it. What I do distinctly recall. Okay, I need a drink. What I do distinctly recall is that, as a child, I unequivocally thought I was better than other people. That those who met me were lucky, and I could pick anyone I wanted as company. The onus was on everyone else to impress. If someone was boring, or maybe I just didn't like the colors they were wearing that day, I could find a new playmate easily. After all, I had the most to offer. Naturally, what I was offering was what my parents had. A big, cool house, exciting outings, the best toys. It wasn't until I was 11 or so when I developed my first stable friends. They might not have been rich like me, but they had their own charms. Those ties couldn't be replaced. Becoming attached to other people, especially those people, made me realize what I believed wasn't true. He straightened out his back and came up to the edge of the chair. And it was so obvious. They were wonderful. I felt things I never had before. All it took was being who they were. It didn't matter what their parents did. No fancy venue could top genuine camaraderie with their company.
Truthfully.
And for whatever reason, I was in the club, and I was happy. The person who was lucky to be there was me. A beautiful sparkle of sentimentality brightened his features even more than the glow of the fireplace. I had wanted my friends to feel the same way towards me. To have that kind of incredible effect on another person for no reason other than that I was Baxter. Then the light went out. But I was older than all of them. As sheltered as I was, I got along better with kids not quite my own age. Immature as always, Life changed fast then, and the years between us became more noticeable with every day. I never reached a point where I felt like I knew what I was doing before suddenly it was as if I didn't belong with them anymore. That they didn't have time to keep me around with the differences in our schedules and priorities. And I accepted that. So the friendships ended. Oh, when friendships drift apart, it's always a really melancholic, bittersweet kind of feeling to drift apart with old friends. We stopped talking as young teens, and I haven't even seen them since I left for college in 2015. I thought they mattered to me, but when have I done anything for them? Why did I deserve to be liked and included, when all I did was want that to happen and abandon them when it didn't? None of the emotion, life was left in Baxter's retelling. He continued hollowly. I miss what it was like having real friends. I miss those friends I used to have. Sometimes I wonder if they remember me. I wonder what they think of if they do remember me. I wonder the same as well. I've had a bunch of friends throughout the years, and some have we've drifted apart, mainly because I moved away, and we didn't go to the same school anymore, so we couldn't keep up. So I have lost contact with them ever since. I wonder how they're doing. 2015, oh my age! Let it sink in that 2015 was about 11 years ago. 2015 was 11 years ago, guys. 2016 was 10 years ago. It's been 10 years since I started drawing digital art. Holy moly. That's crazy. Drifted apart, others burnt down bridges. Yeah. Sometimes your friends leave you. I don't know. Was that 200 years ago? I guess for you, Ahmed. You perceive time so slowly. 1 year is like 500 for you. I wonder what they'd think of me now. But with a flick of his wrist, he wryly brushed off the admission. We're both aware it's only as full-grown... Okay, I can't read. We're both aware it's only as a full-grown man I learned that lesson. I've made many more mistakes than that. He hadn't given up the concept of vulnerability entirely, however. Baxter softened once more for a different confession. I've also missed you over those 5 years. And Terry, and Miranda, and Cove, and that summer in Sunset Bird. But mostly, it was you who I thought of. During that trip, I did feel wanted.
You made me feel wanted and important.
Aww. That's his real voice, Chad, please. Please believe that instead of my squeaky little dog voice, please. I butcher him entirely when I read his lines. Oh, hold on. You made me feel wanted and important. It was exciting and amazing. and felt impossible it could last. The shine would wear off eventually, as always. I didn't want to see it happen. Mori voice better. Needs more helium. No, no, no. What if I seemed pathetic for being attached? What if I seemed pathetic for being attached to people I met on a short vacation? I can't do it. It's straining my voice. Even though I'm a squeaker, I have limits to how squeaky I can be, okay? Speaking voice is better? Is my mic being cut off right now? Like, I'm talking right now, and is it, like, being cut off? Am I being... Is my... Is my mic peaking? No way. I need to lower my voice. Peak VA. No, is my mic peaking? Like, is it getting cut off when when my volume goes too high? No peaking mic? When you were talking loud, it did. Really. I need to... Hold on. Let me angle my mic away a little bit. Because I keep, like, going closer. Like, ah! There, that should be good. That should be good. Only when you were in helium mode. Okay. Okay, back to reading. What if I seemed pathetic for being attached to people I met on a short vacation? You had your real group of friends who lived with you. You had your real group of friends who lived with you there already. Or what if you stopped responding to me after realizing I wasn't that interesting? Or why would I have even assumed there'd be a reason to talk to me at all once it was no longer convenient? I'm aware that's not a kind way to view you, but it wasn't that you'd done something to make me believe it would happen. It's my viewpoint for every situation. You recall the night before the wedding, when Baxter admitted he dyed his hair. The problem on this night was very much the same thing. Baxter couldn't see his own value, and he had always feared others wouldn't either. For the first time since he began spilling out his heart, Baxter paused. He considered the way he wanted to put his next words and then continued. Back then, during my tourist phase, we took that brief trip to the mountains. On a hike, we passed the tree that had fallen across a stream. If you can picture that, it was as if we were on opposite sides, and I couldn't take the path to you because it looked risky. Oh, you certainly hadn't forgotten the experience. What he said didn't line up with your memories of that day. You do know what actually happened, don't you? We walked on it together, and then went back to the same side. You crossed that stream bravely. That got him to chuckle, ever so slightly. That was my attempt at a poignant, personally relevant metaphor, but I'm quite impressed you remember the details. He shook his head amusedly, eyes closed, and tossed both his hands up.
I understand.
I suppose that is the true story of my life. Me not understanding a thing and getting it all wrong at every turn. Then Baxter set his attention on you, completely. He wasn't playing around anymore. But rather than dancing around this, I'll say it directly. Not trying to stay in touch with you is something I've regretted for a long time. I've always regretted the days I lost. Even now that we've reconnected.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Mori. Many times, it's been impossible to count how many, you'd imagined a moment like this. Baxter Ward, standing or sitting in front of you, sharing with you his real feelings. Never thought it would happen. That dream was only a dream, and yet it was happening. You understood what he was thinking, what drove him away, why Baxter was so Baxter. And now I have to take a drink. Clarity. Clarity you'd painfully wished for had come at last. What do we do, chat? What do we do? We are being given options, and I don't know how to go about it. Do we hug him? Do we sit next to him? Do we take his hand? What do we do, chat? He just poured his heart out for us. Number 6. Number 7. Burger King. Toe fungus. Hug the man. We hugging the man? Alright, let's hug the man. You got up and hugged him. If you want to hug him. Baxter was initially confused by your sudden approach, and then flat out stunned when you threw your arms around him and desperately held tight. Unsure if you were sad or hurt or what, Baxter patted your back gently. Of course, he wouldn't think your woes were for his sake. He was a silly gentleman. But it was wonderful, indulging in his warmth. And even better knowing you wouldn't have to let go again. Not for real. Aw. I hope you know you're important to me. Alright, I now must absolutely insist that you value yourself. You deserve people who appreciate you. You're a good guy, Baxter. You've always been worth caring about. Don't forget that. Congratulations on making it across that bridge. I'm glad you did. I only give you a hard time because I care. I am between these two. Okay, my nose has started to itch now. My nose has started to itch now, chat. I don't know why. Why does this always happen when I play this game? Number 2 is so formal. Yeah. That last one is so true. Yeah. Wait, about what? About me? I only give you a hard time because I care. Are you saying that's true about me? Me specifically? Grab the tissues more. The video game allergy returns now! I don't even have any sniffles or anything. It's just itchy. I don't know why. It's always when I play this game, I get itchy. Just remember, I only give you a hard time because I care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mori. Baxter smiled, truly moved. Something caught in my throat, and my voice changed a little bit. Baxter smiled, truly moved. What was lost, what could never be, had been there all along if he had just reached for it. And he accepted your words, without buts, exceptions, or waving it off. You treasured him, and you could believe that he was starting to accept that. You couldn't have been happier. Hairball. No! The dog has hairballs? No! With Baxter's piece said and done, you both returned to your shared home. After an incredibly, exceedingly long day, you went right to sleep. The next morning, you ambled out of your room into the hall. My nose is itchy too, but probably because my mom is cleaning something and there's a lot of dust coming out. Oh no, you have a dust allergy too? No! No. Oh, woe is the dilemma of having a dust allergy and living in a dust-filled area. Get in the plastic bubble. No, you can't make me. You'll never take me alive. Okay, how did we sleep? You slept in a lot. You could have slept more. It was nice and early, and you were feeling good. You slept in a bit, and you were energized. You slept the morning away, but needed it. You were finally rested. For some reason, the dust is red. That's kind of concerning. Please don't inhale any of that red dust, Ahmed. That might be dangerous. I'm an early riser nowadays. Really? Really? That's news to me. Is that true, Bonsai? Let's sleep in a bit, and you were energized by it. Because it was a really long day yesterday, it would be good to sleep in. Checking the apartment, you found the living room was empty, and so was the kitchen. Baxter hadn't come out of his room. You heard no signs of stirring either, so he probably wasn't awake. Yes, life-changing, holy moly! He's waking up early now. Wow! That dust came out of a red mattress. Don't inhale the red dust! Do not inhale it! Terrible! Frightening! Be careful! You thought there was at least a chance he'd beat you to the early worm, but that was not the case. After freshening up in the bathroom, you still had the place to yourself. But there were things you could do. Packing. The trip was almost over after all. You dropped your suitcase on the bed and started to lazily fill it with bits and bobs. For all your good intentions, your head wasn't in it. Alone with your thoughts, you sank into reflecting on what happened before and imagining what could happen next, until the sound of a door snapped you out of it. How long had it been? You had no idea, but you were sure that Baxter was up. Slow footsteps approached nearer and nearer, and then there was a knock. Come in. Carefully, Baxter let himself in. He peeked through an only half-open door.
Hey.
Good morning, Mori. Morning, sleepyhead. I can leave you be if you're in the middle of something. No way, I was waiting for you to finally get up. You dropped a shirt you'd been haphazardly folding and joined him by the door, pushing it all the way open.
Excellent.
Oh, excellent. He gestured with a light wave. Then, clad again in fuzzy zebra print slippers, Baxter shuffled to the community space of the apartment. You followed along. He dropped like a sack of monochrome potatoes into one of the chairs. Baxter had no reason to rush that morning, so he could be as complacent as he wanted, which was very much. Making it out from under his blanket hadn't meant he was ready to join the rest of the waking world. Baxter was lingering in the peaceful dreamland of his own home. You thought he was simply precious. The description is incredible. Ruffle his bedhead, poke his cheek, click his nose. Decisions. What do you guys want to do? The urge. Imagine if the red dust is fiberglass. If you can move away from the red dust, please do so, Ahmed. That's increasingly concerning. Why would you have a fiberglass bed? That's incredibly terrible design. Fiberglass mattress, that's terrible design. Ruffled his bedhead. He really dug into his silky strands. With the reflexes of a sloth, Baxter brought a hand to the spot you'd gotten. The poor fool was defenseless. but you let him off there, feeling merciful. Baxter then curled his legs into the cushion, while stretching his arms up toward the ceiling. It feels as if the wedding was a lifetime ago, not yesterday. I can't believe all of this happened in less than a week. It was yesterday? Oh, you're right. Pretty incredible. It was yesterday? He only murmured softly in response, unable to muster the energy for entire words. It was wonderful to be here like this, to be welcomed into such an intimate corner of his life. Baxter was wonderful, and so heartbreaking. You could see the moments and hours and days you would have collected over the years if you'd never been apart, or if you could have at least reunited sooner. Oh, you were... you're feeling that that slight FOMO right now. It was clear as the blue sky ahead of you. You couldn't lose anything more. You just couldn't. I put Mori in a bubble in the community tab. No way. No way. Also, chat, I would recommend not telling him right here, even though it's so overwhelmingly obvious that the narration is pushing you to say that your feelings are overwhelming and that you want to say it out loud already. I recommend that you don't, because there is another chance for it later down the line. It'll be up to him, but you'd hope he felt the same way about you. You took it delightfully easy while getting decent for the day. Baxter had a whole selection of lotions, oils, and creams for the skin and hair, which you were permitted to rate as much or as little as you wanted. He made liberal use of it himself. He has skincare! He lives better than me! I believe it. Oh my god! Well, I just saw the bubble Mori. Oh my god! Oh, I love it! Oh my god! This is why you're stinky and he's not. Well, he let me use his skincare now, so I'm going to be less stinky. Also, the bubble Mori. Oh my god! Heart. Did you see the pic I posted in community tab? Yes, I saw it too. Fear. Keep posting in community tab, guys. It's so fun to see. I'm still waiting on that cloud mint that people promised. Please feed me. You guys, I'm waiting on that cloud mint that you guys promised me. Where is it? Alright. Back to the game. Why were you not surprised? He was the kind of man with a 30-minute morning pampering routine. The two of you decided not to eat there since the cafe served plenty of food, so it was time to head out. You left the city behind and shot straight past the suburbs and headed toward the horizon. Baxter brought the car to a stop in a small, sun-beaten parking lot. You'd arrived at the cafe you visited years ago. What Cloudman? I recall a couple people saying they were drawing fan art of Cloudman, so I am waiting patiently for that fan art. This is in no way rushing you guys, by the way, to anyone who might see this who is drawing Cloudmint fan art. I'm just looking forward to it. Take your time. I'm just looking forward to it. I'm working on it. No, take your time, Celeste. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Don't feel pressured to finish it like really fast. Cloudmint ain't real. It is apparently real for some people. It's not even canon yet. Not yet. Not yet. Yes, it'll take about however long before it's real. Baxter brought the car. You'd arrived at the cafe you visited years ago. It was a bit late for breakfast, though that meant you could look forward to a nice brunch with friendly faces. Inside, a host and the delicious scents from the kitchen greeted you. He was ready to seat you immediately. You snagged a booth with enough room for a party of 3, and were passed an appropriate number of menus. Only when the host was finished and gone did Baxter take out his phone. I'll let them know we've arrived. Okay. Baxter grinned playfully, buoyed by your own positivity, and put the phone away. His attention was set on you, even if the topic wasn't.
You know,
Xavier is a delightful person. I've already said that, haven't I? Yeah, but that's nice. You had to imagine a person would be required to be a particularly pleasant and thoughtful individual to build up even a tenuous friendship with someone as closed off as Baxter. Well, one thing you could already give Xavier, regardless of whatever else, was that they saved your friend from being entirely alone before you'd found him again. You were grateful for it. And there they are! Xavier strolled through the door shortly after a set of waters were placed down around the table. They'd ditched the apron that day, which made perfect sense since you were meeting up casually outside their place of employment. Though it suited them so well, it was a staple part of their look. If Xavier had worn it out, you'd bet strangers would have accepted it as entirely correct anyway. Your eyes met across the open space of the cafe. Baxter stood to welcome them. Xavier wasted no time linking up. Good morning. He held his hand straight out for a shake. Xavier went with it, giggling.
Always a pleasure.
Hi, Baxter and Mori. Thanks for finding the time to see me after all.
oh yes.
Of course, Xavier, of course. You and Baxter sat side by side. He'd rejoin you there while Xavier slid into the opposite bench. Hello, sup? Hi. It's fantastic to see you again. Hello. They shot you a grin and scooped up the third and final menu.
Well,
Are you ordering anything? I am. I want to try one of their muffins, though I doubt it'll be better than the one at Sake. They hid their face behind a wall of their own fingers and whispered in a sing-songy voice. You were like kids sharing secrets on the playground.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. With a smirk and an air of faux innocence, Baxter tossed up his hands. Why hadn't we gone there instead? Sadly, we don't have good coffee or real food. It's a bakery only. Of course. Now I remember. Baxter chuckled over Xavier's lament. He wasn't so professional to be above the occasional tease. And you, Mori? One of the pastries, please. A drink and one of the pastries. I just broke my fast. I think some red dust got into my throat. No! I told you to move away! Well, now we're ordering some food, so... A glass of milk? You could order a glass of milk? Let's get a hot chocolate. And... what kind of pastry, chat? I'll let you guys pick. Fast broken by possibly fiberglass dust. No, I pray for your safety, Ahmed. Why always when you're streaming I break my fast? I don't know, man. I have no influence on it. Banana bread. Yippee! I make a mean banana bread. I will say it again and again. I'm very good. Does this taste like the one I make? I'm not sure. But let's try it.
Now,
I'll be getting a cup of black coffee as usual, and I believe I'll have a slice of a quiche. A slice of quiche. That was a relief. Who's actually going to eat this time? Be like Cove and get cake. No. I'm not going to get cake for brunch. Since everyone was decided, the order was placed as soon as the waiter came by. He jotted down the request, collected the menus, and promised to be back shortly. Then, the second he was out of earshot, Xavier shot a pinning stare at the two people sitting snugly across from them.
So?
So? I'm actually eating cake? Oh man, save some for the rest of us. Oh man. Oh, did you succumb to the cake that your sister was eating? Did you get offered cake? Oh no! He says black coffee to be cool. The cat boy clearly wants milk. No! Putting up appearances like that, you don't gotta. You're among friends, Baxter. Don't worry. I will give everyone cake except Mori. No! 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 Why would you do this? Why would you? Why would you do this? I would love some cake. Please give me some cake. No way! No way! Why am I not being allowed cake? Why? Why? Alright, I'll just eat my banana bread, I guess. You were eating a snack in front. That doesn't mean I didn't want cake. That doesn't mean I didn't want cake. Let me have some cake too, please. Just a slice, a small slice. A small slice would be okay. I'd be happy. Come on. All I had for a snack was like biscuits, man. Please. It were just cookies. God damn. Alright, back to the cafe. Maybe then I can have some banana bread. You knew where this was going. Unlike Baxter, who would gleefully avoid personal questions, Xavier was nothing if not persistent when it came to getting to specifics. Decorators have an eye for details. Are you going to explain what kind of dynamic you have going on? To pick back up from what I said over the phone, you were acting like Mori was a coworker, and now they're staying at your place? I don't understand. I do not understand. Baxter threaded his fingers together while leaning forward. He grinned cordially. This challenge didn't faze him any longer. Guess who lost? Good game, Nil! Good game! Hi, Nil! Welcome back! Good game! I will give you cake if you don't eat snacks in front of me. Meanwhile, while I'm fasting. I can control that. Hey, man. I can eat whenever I want. The opponent were just strong. You well played, Nil. You fought a good fight. Welcome back. The power of Ivan Till helped you. Don't worry. How was the copiao? How was it? How was the copiao? I full comboed and still got fourth. Oh. You missed out on a lot, Nil. Don't worry. I think Ahmed will fill you up on it. Fill you in on it. Red, supposedly fiberglass dust. I'm not sure. Anyway, my nose is itchy. With as much audacity as someone who could ask a baker to make a wedding cake with 3 days' notice, your good friend gave an apologetic answer.
Honestly,
It seems I was being dramatic. We will continue spending time together after all. Xavier matched his squint, pairing that with an exaggeratedly neighborly smile.
What's the dynamic here?
I can see that clearly, but what was happening to begin with? Do we tell them that we were exes? Or do we let Baxter do the thing? I think we should let Baxter. We should let Baxter recount it. Just to save his ego. Baxter squared his shoulders, looked Xavier straight in the eyes, and divulged your shared history. He didn't hesitate or leave anything out to save face. Oh. An unideal reality of the past was laid out in its entirety. Swirling their longest strands of hair, Xavier found the whole of the story much easier to grasp than they had only hearing the end.
To be honest,
Honestly, I'm not surprised in the slightest. As pleasant as things were when you stopped by the bakery, I always assumed if you stopped having client-based reasons to visit, you never would have spoken to me again. Looks like I was right on that assessment. Baxter's gaze dropped. He couldn't help it. Developing closer ties could never make him ashamed, no matter how odd the circumstances. Thank you for the hydrate, Neil. My nose is started getting stuffy, but we only have like 10 minutes left, so after this cafe meetup with Xavier, we will be ending stream and then continuing on with a visit to our moms. In the next stream will be the visit to the moms. 10 minutes left. Yeah, there's only 10 minutes left. There's still, I know, there's still a lot of story left. Don't worry, no. Gaming allergy. My nose itchy. When's the next Baxter stream? April? I'm going to do another one next week. Don't worry. Right. There's going to be a stream on Monday. We will be doing Miku Monday. For Miku Day. And then a Baxter stream next Friday too. You sure about that? I will! I'm going to! Mark my words. Weekly streams, let's go. Yeah. I usually do weekly streams. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Developing closer ties could never make him ashamed, no matter how odd the circumstances. Doing the inverse, however, might always remain a source of guilt for him.
I apologize.
It's not your fault. I have no talent for maintaining relationships that aren't entirely unavoidable, and sometimes not even that. I get it. Trust is always a work in progress, right? I'd say we would have become actual friends eventually, but Mori giving you a push can speed that right along. Baxter lifted his face at that, speaking softly. Xavier was a nice person. Yes, I think so too. Food and drinks arrived shortly. Your little group mutually took that as a closing to the interrogation of Baxter Ward and Mori Motchi. After serving the order, the waiter left once more, saying to call him if you needed anything else. Xavier and Baxter put a pause to any future discussion to sample their stuff. That red stuff might be dried organic matter, like sweat and skin. What? Don't inhale that! Oh my god. Miku Monday. Yeah, Miku Monday. It's me. It's literally 3/9 on Monday. So look forward to that. Though when you were here before, he'd only gotten black coffee. It was up in the air whether he'd enjoy a meal. By their delighted hums over the flavor, it sounded like the cafe was a hit with both. Yours was delicious too. The three of you stayed quiet until Xavier chimed in with the next major topic of this meetup. Jude and Scott Adams' wedding. How'd the day go?
Perfect.
It went off without a hitch. They're wonderful. They're a wonderfully stable couple.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! They whistled. The odds were beat. That was for certain. By all accounts, you should have been informing Xavier how the last-minute preparations ended in disaster. Yes, and your cake got rave reviews from the guests, of course. Of course.
Phew!
I can sleep easy knowing I made a cake for a crowd who enjoyed it. And for a couple who should actually be getting married. I'm happy for them. Some of these jobs, shivers ran through Xavier's body. I feel like I'm making a macabrely beautiful a macabrely, how do you pronounce it? A macabrely beautiful feast to celebrate a horrible mistake. Baxter chuckled at his colleague, his fellow in creating matrimonial bliss. It might be crushed bug eggs or even... What the hell? Ahmed, get that checked. See a doctor. Listen to Celeste. And his match in insight for when the happiest day of someone's life is not quite so happy. While I attempt to believe in every pair who comes through my office, it is difficult to avoid the occasional wallow in cynicism. The wedding industrial complex will do that to you. Ah yes, the disaster weddings, where you can see it's a perfectly good, fine and normal wedding, but once you see the bride and groom, yeah, you can definitely tell they shouldn't be married.
Of course.
Or it would have if I hadn't already possessed a streak of pessimism when it came to relationships lasting. But we've gone down that track. Macabrely. Because the root word is like macabre, right? So if it's appended with Lee, is it macabrely or macabrely? I need to look that up. Xavier's manicured lashes fluttered as they rested against the back of the booth. They sighed in relief. Relaxing time was over after 1 minute and they tilted forward again, now assured their efforts weren't in vain. Xavier could indulge in juicier ponderings. Illiterate dog. What's ban that guy? He's spreading slander. That's not true. That's not true at all. No, don't actually ban him. Don't actually ban him. Don't actually ban him. He apologized. He's abstained. He's forgiven. I'll let off that slander for today. Time's out nil for 10 seconds. I think this might be a curse from you, Mori. There is something always happening on Friday that makes me break. That's not me! Or are you blaming me? You're out here telling me that your sister was tempting you with cake, and then you suddenly say that you broke your fast by inhaling red dust, and now you're eating cake as well. That's not my fault! That's not my fault! No, that's not me! Just stinky? What do you mean? I'm not looking at chat anymore. We need gossip. What bakery made that groom's cake? I admit it. I took a peek at what was under the cover when I dropped my own off. It was well designed. Thanks. Me and Baxter did. Why, that was designed by Mori and Baxter Bakeries. We did. Me and Baxter. Oh boy, you're gonna get a kick out of this. Don't get me started on that. Thanks. Me and Baxter did. Xavier actually jumped up in their seat.
What?
What? They settled down and gingerly patted their coif hair, making sure it was still in place. Surprises after surprises. You're squishy under that stiff suit of yours, Baxter.
Come on.
As though that is actually a surprise. They giggled, the sound akin to the bell on Zake's front door. I'm glad if I ever disappeared, I can leave y'all to slander Mori for me. I can't believe that's going to be your legacy, Neil. Don't let that be your legacy. How am I gonna glaze you to anyone who comes by? Like, remember Neil? Yeah, I remember him. He was so great. No, I'm going to say, yeah, I remember him. He slandered me. He constantly slandered me. No way, no way. True, that part isn't. You and Mori baking a cake is. It is? Is it? Is it? You might be surprised. Don't you recall it wasn't the first time we've been in a similar squeeze?
Oh!
I will always do that till the end of time. Wait, you're right. Those mystery cupcakes. From the auspicious start, you and Baxter told more stories from the wedding. Eventually, it transitioned into Baxter sharing especially memorable moments from other jobs he'd worked on. Some highlighted real-life potential pitfalls you could work to avoid if you ever got married, while others were one-in-a-million debacles. The most unbelievable was a story of a particular orchard-set wedding. A ceremony had been prepared with flowers, a walkway, seating, and bespoke wooden arch at the end. As the planner, he was doing a final survey, primed for the guests to arrive, when an out-of-control truck with a back end full of apples barreled straight through. Baxter stressed that the driver was fine when he managed to come to a stop, and the couple was still married, albeit in a much I'm starting to get really squeaky. Albeit in a much simpler arrangement, so no real harm was done. However, Baxter distinctly recalled the comedic surrealness of it. Seeing a completed ceremony, the fruit of weeks of work, and then having it flattened to the ground in the blink of an eye, was something he never expected or hoped to experience. Alright, I need a drink. Oh, it's already 5 p.m. Oh no! Let's just finish this up. But for all the misery of the moment, he did confess that the debacle made for a great mood setter going forward. He shared the memory that every couple he'd worked with since, to help put their own struggles into perspective. It warmed your heart seeing Baxter so at ease. None of the carefully maintained distance remained between him and Xavier, or him and you. It's not 5 p.m. Your clock is slow, Mori. It is! You're not gonna gaslight me on that. I know, I have multiple clocks on me. There was no sadness or sense of loss when it came time to part ways. After all, it didn't have to be final. You had the power to reach out again if you wanted. The bill was split and that got paid before saying goodbye to the baker. No one had forgotten their wallets, much to Baxter's clandestine relief. With a cheery wave and a grin, Xavier left for home. You like them. Xavier was someone you could count among your friends. Yeah. You're glad Baxter had a friend that was all his own? No, we're friends with them. It was interesting to speak to them more casually. You still needed to get to know them better. No, they're friend. They're a friend. Xavier is a friend. Drywall and fiberglass combo is amazing. No way. I wouldn't want to try that. It is slow. Just keep streaming. Someone did a regular show on you, Mori. All the clocks has been set back 1 hour. Friends! Yeah, we're friends. Friends with Xavier. Alright. Baxter had more than a single muffin to finish, so he wasn't quite ready to leave just yet. Of course, the same could be said about you. That conversation was made. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing my mom soon. It's been too long, even though it hasn't been long at all. Really a whole month. Okay, I think we should stop here. We're stopping here. Alright, chat. By the way, guys, if anything bad happens to you on a Friday, blame it on Mori. I always do every single... What is this slander? We can't stop there. I need you. We're gonna stop there. And then next week, we will be continuing on. Yeah. Alright, guys. Thanks for hanging out. It was fun. We get to... This is around about the final couple story beats before the ending. So, hopefully, within the next stream, we can finish the DLC. And then, we can go forward with the wedding DLC next. To be continued, yes, yeah. Miku Monday next week. Please look forward to it. I will be putting up a waiting room for both Miku Monday and the Baxter stream for Friday. So look forward to that next week, and I will see you guys again soon. And also next week, look forward to the Clover Cafe return. March 15th. Mark your calendars. Alright. Bye, guys. Bye. Any plans for Monday? Miku Monday! That's Miku Monday. That's the plan for Monday. Next week is March 15. Yeah. I have... My calendar starts on a Monday, so next week is March 15th for me. What are you gonna do on that day? I'm going to be streaming! I'm gonna do a stream for Miku Monday! Oh my god! I'm gonna do a stream! I'm going to be drawing, okay? I'm drawing something for Miku Monday. I don't know if I can play Project Sekai. If I played Project Sekai, I might have to unlist the VOD. So, that'll depend on my mood. But yeah. Yeah, we're drawing something for Miku Monday. Yeah! Okay. Bye, guys. Did I save? I saved, right? I'll save again. Okay. That's it for me. Bye, guys. Couldn't you see that at the start? What? I always draw something for Miku Day. 3/9. March 9. Miku Day, I always draw something. For being a mod, I should totally get 9,900 million candy stars. Well, that exceeds the candy star limit, so that's not possible. Alright, bye. Bye for real. Bye.